Welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I am bringing you back to the Javelin Wreck of Daymar. I like to do this video every couple of patches. I think this is actually 2 patches in a row that I've done this video, where I will show you how to find the Javelin Wreck that is on Daymar, the Moon Around Crusader. Now this Javelin was named the UEE Flysa, if I'm not mistaken. I learned some of that information and a bunch of the background on it from Astropub's channel. They did a really fantastic job of doing a history on that Javelin that wrecked there almost a century ago. The Flysa was responding to some pirates or whatever in the system, and there was a mining ship that had a bunch of cargo on that was kind of volatile. And the Flysa was trying to, I guess, respond to that mining ship that was having a hard time breaking atmosphere. And they overcharged the engines in the process and exploded, igniting the mineral that they had been mining, which also struck the Flysa, which ended up crash landing on the planet, killing all on board. This was kind of the story that they talked about on the Astropub. I'm sure it's available elsewhere as well. And I'm sorry for the choppiness of the video. I sped this thing up quite a bit because it took me about 30 minutes to find the Javelin. I know all the coordinates and I was able to find it fairly easily, but it still took about 30 minutes because, for one, I'm in an 890 jump. If you didn't notice, my 890 jump is named Bluebell. I'm probably going to change that. I just wanted a placeholder for a little while until I thought of something better. But yeah, flying an 890 jump to this Javelin wreck can be hazardous to one's health because it will burn through the fuel. Absolutely burn through it. I think I was at 50% by the time I left the Javelin wreck. So be mindful if you're taking a bigger ship that it will burn through fuel. It'll consume a lot of it, and if you don't find it right away, you could make it to where you can't return to a station to refuel. Luckily, I didn't have that problem this time in the 890. I do recommend using smaller vessels, maybe the Star Runner, Freelancer, something like that, to go visit this if you plan on doing it. So really, my basic advice if you want to go see this Javelin is to jump to Daymar and then go to OM3 right off the bat. So once you start at OM3, it becomes a little easier to find. And then I would actually suggest flying towards Bountiful Harvest. Once you're flying towards Bountiful Harvest, you're also using some of the other coordinates. The best coordinates probably are ArcCorp Mining Area 141 and Dunlow Ridge. Those are the ones that I would be keeping my eye on, but I also looked at Newen Waste, Wolf Point, how far I am away from Kovalex and OM3. So I really more than triangulated the position. I'm more like octulated. That's not even a word. I'm making it up, but it works. It should work. I mean, triangulate, octulate. Yeah, I used like 7-8 points to find out, or to make sure I was on track to find this Javelin, and I really had hardly any problem finding it once I got close. I do recommend that you use the third-person view and pan the camera somewhat tilted to where you can see the ground and not so much your ship. You could actually take your ship completely out of the view if you wanted to, but it will make it easier to spot this thing. Now you saw I brought my gear down here. It was just kind of a little premature doing that. I was doing it more or less to break my fall if I were to plummet to the planet's surface. This being a big ship and I was traveling rather fast, I just wanted to cover some bases and make sure that I didn't explode on impact. A lot of my buddies in the Texas Space Navy would say that's a typical Mud Dog landing. I was trying to avoid a typical Mud Dog landing in an 890 jump. These things take a long time to claim insurance on, and I really didn't feel like waiting so long to continue to do this video. I could have taken another ship, sure, but it's more fun in the 890 for multiple reasons. I wanted to show you the size of the Javelin compared to the over 200 meter long 890 jump. Just to kind of give you some scale on how big this beautiful destroyer is going to be in game. So, most of you are probably wondering, where are the coordinates? Why haven't you told me the coordinates? They're coming, I promise. I want to get a little closer before I start spitting out all the coordinates. Because, well, one, I'm totally clickbaiting you guys, trying to get you to watch this video most of the way through, and I kind of want to spare them out a little bit. So I'm going to give you one right now. You want to be 415.8 kilometers away from Bountiful Harvest. Now that's pretty close to being on the ground, so keep that in mind. I'll give you ArcCorp Mining Area 151's distance as well, 219.7 kilometers. So you have 2 points now. The third point will be Dunlow Ridge, which needs to be 212.7 kilometers. Really, those are the only three that you really need to be able to find this, though it definitely helps having all the other coordinates. And again, I'll put all the coordinates up at the end of the video here so you guys can see where to go. Isn't Daymar like gorgeous now? I mean, they really made it something better than what it was. I want to make sure I give you a closer look at some of the rocky terrain around this Javelin here in a minute, so that you can kind of see how much detail has gone on or gone into the surface of some of these planets. It's really breathtaking. I mean, it's like, wow. Back to the Javelin Wreck of Daymar. It's got a great story behind it. I definitely think you should check out Paul Shelley's Astropub video on it. Just YouTube, search Astropub Javelin. It'll be the first thing that comes up. I'm sure he'll appreciate the views as well. It's a really great video. He does a lot of historical type videos, a lot of lore, and I don't want to steal his thunder in this video. One, I'd get it wrong, and two, you know, I just, if I'm using somebody else's information or video, I want to give them credit. I just think that that's, you know, something we should do for one another in the community. So here we are, we're getting closer and closer to this Javelin. You'll see I'm flying up on it right now. And of course I'll slow down, but the video is still going pretty fast. So my slowing down means nothing when the video's sped up like it is. So some other coordinates that you may want to keep in mind. OM3 should be 204.4 kilometers away. Kovalek should be 446.4 kilometers away. Newen Waste, 156.8 kilometers. Wolf Point, 198 kilometers. And then Tamden Plains, 422.8 kilometers. So, yes, those are all the coordinates that you can use to try to find this point. Now, I hope in the future that we can set our own waypoints, so that you could actually set this waypoint, save it, and you could come back to it anytime you wanted to. That would be ideal. As of now, you have to find it every time, or you have to have somebody else find it, and you can jump to them in order to, you know, get to this wreck site. I keep hearing from the devs that they're going to put a town in this Javelin. I mean, we haven't seen it yet. That's really the biggest reason why I was coming out here and doing this video in 3.13 at all, is because I was curious if they had implemented any of that and kind of put it in as a little Easter egg or something on top of the regular Easter egg of having the Javelin Wreck. But it is not in yet. Supposedly it's coming. There's going to be a town there, and I mean, I don't know what they're going to, what the purpose of the town is. I guess they're going to sell, maybe they're scrappers, most likely something similar to what was in The Force Awakens, you know, the Star Wars movie, Episode 7. Don't get me started on all that. But it should be some sort of little, salvage town, probably like that. I don't know if you're going to be able to sell items there, like if you come down with your ship and you'll be able to sell things there. It would make sense. I hope so. But guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Check out the coordinates. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.